So we'll set up for the first scene. That's going to take place on the kitchen. That'll be Treb and Ellie.
What are these blokes doing here? What's going on?
They're my pupils, sis.
Get concerned. What are you guys doing? What's going on? You're concerned. You wake up and you're there. So you're angry about this. They woke up because they're arguing. You're asleep, you see? Mm-hmm. You come out from sleep and you come out. That's when you get upset with them.
Until we can throw our directors and producers up and our crewmen, women, we're absolutely bogged down until that happens.
I want you out of the house in the morning for real this time. No sweet talk about being drunk either. Because I'm sober now and I say this.
I'll get out of here and don't ask me to stop because I had a gutful of you.
It's been abundantly clear that most Aboriginal people have been dissatisfied with being interpreted incorrectly. I mean, for all the right reasons, but not necessarily the right way.
What's been going on here?
Oh, I love you awake, eh?
What are these blokes doing here? What's going on?
They're my pupils, sis.
What, you teaching them to be alcoholics or idiots?
Good one, Mama.
Don't you good one, mum me.
Don't you good one, mum me.
Don't you good one, mum me. Don't you think about coming to bed in that state either.
Yeah, leave the mongrel, sis. Shift out with me in the morning after our punky lights out.
You don't get up till afternoon. But have you bright and early out of here, I tell you.
I can see in the near future, because things are going so quickly, that we'll have our own publishing houses, we'll have our own theatres, and we're going to be like the blacks in the United States. We're going to almost, and we hope we eventually will, take over a lot of the industry which is the white people have got today. We'll be developing, we'll be doing our own plays, we'll be making our own films, we'll have our own publishing houses. We're going to do the whole lot, believe me, and that's going to happen in the next 10 years.
I mean, is our mandate to communicate with our own people first? Or is our mandate to be taken out and shown off like the remnants of the Stone Age on the other side of the world? You know, they're the questions in my mind. I mean, I think we have to form guidelines from this conference.
We all know how our stuff is being exploited. We get no recognition. We get no financial comeback.
We got all these films. I mean, for the first time in Australian film history, you know, these two films are up for awards. This is the first time.
Because we are the material that they're playing. We have the determining power. And right up front, we've got to say, listen, these are the terms. You want to shoot me, baby? These are the terms. And we've all got to do it. The writers, the actors, the bloody lot.
We can't dictate to everybody how they're going to present us. But if they're going to be seen to have Aboriginal involvement, then let them front up. Let them put their money where their mouth is. That's all I'm saying.
And what you've got to do is make sure people don't go undercutting you. Because our biggest problem is our own people internally as Times. That is the biggest problem. So we've got to make sure that is stopped. And the way you do that is like Bob said, you've got to set up something that's unified. And how you do that, I don't know. Because if you start doing that, you can bottle it all around the world and stop the rest of the bloody problems.
Times have changed. Money has changed. Politics have changed. There's a lot of countries overseas who want to support blacks, who do support blacks. If we think in terms of forming a national Aboriginal film and theatre foundation or corporation, we can obtain all the money we want from overseas. We can start becoming masters of our own destiny in theatre.
I wrote the play The Cherry Pickers while I was in jail, and mainly that was motivated to give some idea of the conditions of Aboriginal people that they were living under at that time in the 1950s, 60s, up to the early 70s, as seasonal workers, as people in on reserves in these type of refugee areas. We were exiles. We lived as that, and I lived through that. And the conditions of prisoners in jail were so much better than any that I'd had on the mission. There was clean drinking water from taps, there was toilet systems, there was bars, there was showers, There was a medical clinic. None of that was available to Aboriginal people in the early 50s, 60s, and up to the 70s.
Good morning.
Hi.
Ah, well.
There was some spark in there,
I no see you long time now. I no see you long time now. White fella been take me from you. I don't know why. Give me to missionary to be God's child. He teach me new language and he teach me new name. All time I cry. They say, that's shame. And I see you long time now. And I see you long time now. My brother and my sister, they live here too. They say one day we come back to you. Missionary say different, not good, he say. God fella, him want you live his way. I go down city. Down south, real cold. I have birthday now and I'm 9 years old. They give me new mother. She give me new name. All time I cry. She say, that's shame. I not see you long time now. I not see you long time now. I'm your spirit. I stay alive. But in white fella way, you won't survive. Two women we stand, our story untold. But now as our spiritual bondage unfolds, we will silence this burden, this longing, this pain. When you, my mother, give me my name. I no see you long time now. I no see you long time now. Yeah.
In any passage of a sun or moon lies this lying city, this pretty town, this asshole of a universe. Piles break quickly into sores, leaking pus over nice clean lawns. Vengeance becomes heavy here. In the rising of a moon, a woman screams lost to a feminist wail. A black man drags her down, parades her throughout the cloudless town. Here is the garden where he raped her until she bled tears of remorse. These red flowers mark a vagina. These dark patches are where his sperm burnt into the earth and fused the sand into black glass, shining forth under the moon as a tourist spot, decorated by empty buses and clicking cameras. A legend is born to fall prey to a hungry dollar, and blood and sperm become framed in a tourist's lazy need.
Okay, let's take it from the top. They're getting cheeky every day. Christina, we need you.
Strength, George. What are you letting these niggers drink here now?
You're allowed to drink now. Heinzen's deliberately ignoring it. You won't be served for hours. Hey, George, 2 beers, thanks.
Yeah.
Screen. Wait. Gives a beer, Ruthie.
Bit of a nigger lover, eh, Peter?
I'm sick to death of brainless ignorance and intolerance. There you go.
Well, we're supposed to be diseased muns or something, mate.
Some whites are not a bit like that. It's only the stupid ones. Cheers.
Drink that.
Hey, nigger. There's your drink. Now get the hell out of here. We don't serve black fellas in this place. Now get the hell out of here before I throw you out. You couldn't, you fat ape.
He's got a right.
Shut the door. And give him a flogging. Yeah, cut that out, George.
Come on, fellas.
Fine. Come on. Come on, George. Look at these. Come on, George.
Hit him, George.
Hit him, George.
Come on, George.
bloody wrong with you?
Kill the fucking bastard.
Yeah, go.
Bang! Stay back, I'll let him have it too.
What a mess. Oh, shit. Come on, get out the back, get the cops and the quick doctor.
What'd you expect? A breech loaded at 2 feet? He's dead all right. Poor old George.
Been shot by a nigger, huh?
The strength of Aboriginal writing, of course, comes from within them themselves, because what they are doing, what the playwrights are writing, is the true history from the Aboriginal side of the fence. And they're writing the history. And this is very important because the true history of the Aboriginal people have yet to come out. It has not been written in the white books. So our playwrights are writing it in the black books of Australia, in their own books. And then the truth will come out. And this is what's so very, very important about it, is that the playwrights are writing about what happened to them in the past.
Shut up! I'm gonna kill a black bastard. I'm warning you. Shit.
Written in 1968, when we had just fought and won rights for Aborigines to drink in the motels. Prior to that, unscrupulous whites were going out, mixing boot polish, methylated spirits and cheap wine together and selling to my people at $25 a bottle this type of concoction. We went into Sir Robert Menzies, who was then on the throne of in Canberra of Australia, and begged him to bring on a referendum to change this whole scene. He did. We were granted rights to go in to drink the authentic alcohol, but there were people, especially in the country, mainly of German descent, the owners of the pubs, who said, rather than serve an Aborigine, we will break the law. And during that period of time, we were bedevilled by the utter racist and by the paternalistic do-gooders of the time, who would come up to me in the middle of the street and say, well, look, I'm behind the Gurindji movement. I believe in what you're fighting for there. After all, the poor buggers can't help it if they're not white like us.
What's your name? McCallum. Oh, it's no good, Mr. Mac. I give myself up. They only shoot me or bash me up back there. I'll go back with you. Get down, get down. Oh, I've been hungry. Okay. You can't light a fire or let's see the smoke. Too many white fellas around here. It's no good. Mr. Mac, I'll go back with you.
Shut up, Willie, shut up. I didn't come here to take you in, I come here to help you. Right, look, eat first and then we'll talk. There's some draft beer in this, Billy. You'll feel better after you had a feed.
You good fella, Mr. Mac. Shh.
Might as well go looking for a lost penny in this bloody place.
You're 50 mile away by now. I told you, Sarge, didn't I?
Listen, Willie. You know my house? You know where I live? Yeah. I think I know him. It's over near the little church, eh?
Yeah. Now listen, you come there tonight. Lie low here till after dark. They'll all be gone home by then. Now come to the back door and knock. And for Christ's sake, don't let anybody see you, okay? You understand?
Oh, you're a good fella, Mr. Mac. Real good fella.
We'll think of a plan. We'll think of something for you, Willie.
I didn't know there were white fellas like you, Mr. Mac.
Plenty good fellas, Willie. Plenty bastards. Better times are coming for your people, I hope.
I didn't mean to shoot him, Mr. Mac. But he made me do it. You were there.
It wasn't your fault. It was his fault. But we won't talk about it.
We're not looking for performance. We're not looking for anybody to shine out any individual. It's purely for the writer so that the writer can fail. that he has the privilege of failing, he or she, whatever the case, and that they can then choose if they want to go away, rework it, or put it to one side and understand for themselves that maybe it was just an exercise. It's purely to encourage and nurture the creative process in the writer, for whatever their statement might be.
You hear about Mum's new house? Yes, we heard about it. You should be moving in a month or so, but how long have you been living in this place here?
Oh, we haven't been living here that long.
Your husband, Mrs. Francis, is that Charlie?
Yeah, he died in the creek bed.
Mum, you don't have to tell him all that. It's all right. I understand. We're all the same here.
He died from too much grog. Well, that's what they said. He really died from a broken heart. He was a proud man, loved his land. Yeah, that's why he died. He died for the things he loved and the things he lost. His tradition and his art.
There's a lot of anger in our plays. Anger at the system, at society. But it's put in a subtle way in these plays. Subtle enough for you to feel it emotionally rather than react aggressively at what's being said.
Hello, Ruby. I can't stay long. I just brought you a few things.
Oh, thanks, sister. You want a cup of tea?
Quick one. I'm in a hurry. But there are a few questions I'd like to ask you concerning your daughter, Jada. She'd be about 16 now, wouldn't she?
Yeah, sister. She's 16 last month.
Ruby, it's been recorded that she had some form of medical treatment a few years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Some doctor came up and gave everyone injections.
Everyone?
Well, not everyone, just mostly the girls. What's wrong, sister?
Nothing wrong, Ruby. Just a routine check to see if there have been any adverse reaction or side effects.
What kind of injections were they?
The program was designed to control and protect against any undesirable situation which may occur in the home.
I want to know what kind of injections they were.
They were a kind of contraceptive, Ruby. Of course, they were only in their experimental stages.
Bastards! Who do the hell they think they are? What are they? Thinking my daughter was... Who the bloody hell do they think they are? When you look at European plays and you analyse the text, then you have to work out where people are coming from because you can't relate to it. You know, it's another period of time, etc., etc. When you do Aboriginal plays, you come from that reality. Those characters are people you know. Those situations are situations that happen most of the time. You've either been in it yourself or you've had it happen to relatives. Or playwrights tell you about what has happened if it's set back in a period. I mean, you're aware of what's happening in the play. And I think you try and sort of develop that, taking into account sort of the bigger statements that are being made as well about these people. Not just this is a woman suffering, but sort of this is an entire culture and race that is suffering, you know, due to sort of colonialism and this, you know, narrow mind or the mentality of a certain race of people who are the oppressors. And there's also some very, there's a sensitivity about the characters which I don't think has been, which I haven't come across before, which has been treated in that manner.
I made the application for the house for you.
Your house, eh? Things are going to be different.
He's still here.
Jack, Mr. Morton is leaving, Jada. He's come to say goodbye.
What's this, Mum? Been shopping? Real pretty paper, eh?
It's a gift for your mother.
Well, I know it's not her birthday. I better empty this and get some more wood. Fire could go out later.
Thank you for the parcel. Wilbur's pretty good at carving. His father taught him when he was small.
Yes, And I still have the one you gave me. You're quite talented, Ruby. I mean, gifted. You have an artist's hands.
Morris.
Well, I best be leaving now. You, expect a visit from that new bloke. Jones. David. Darren. Yeah. Darren Jones. Well, I'll be off. Goodbye, Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
You take good care of yourself. God bless.
You look out, it makes the sky look bluer than it's ever looked. You look into her eyes, same with you. You look into her eyes, they're the deepest, brownest eyes you've ever seen. You look away, that floor is the most beautiful floor. She makes everything look beautiful. And vice versa. That's the nature of it. Do you follow what I mean? Okay, that's what I want in it. Then you gotta look at that red carpet, and that carpet's the reddest carpet you ever seen. Got it?
Okay.
All right.
On the top?
Well, no, about laughing. That's tricks from a whole dog.
From a what?
A whole bull. You're a young bull. I'm a hold bull.
You're a lot of bull. I'm a little.
You're a little bull. I'm a whole fella. All right, let's go.
This is really a new experience for me.
Covering a writers' conference.
No, being with so many Aboriginal people.
There's plenty of them in Melbourne.
You know, this is really a new experience for me.
What, covering a writers' conference?
No, being with so many Aboriginal people.
There's plenty of them in Melbourne.
Just haven't noticed. No, that's not true. I have, but I've found them kind of threatening.
True.
Well, maybe.
You gonna write a story on us?
I'm gonna try.
You saw what we like at the party. That's how we are.
Oh, come on.
Hope you're remembering all this for your story.
I would like to do a piece about you, actually.
Yeah, well, forget it.
But I think you've got something important to say.
I thought I had.
But you said what you believe.
I'm not so sure anymore. Too many people didn't like it. They all can't be wrong.
Tell me about your poetry, Billy.
There's not much to tell. There's a lot of things I want to say, and poetry is a way of saying it.
Have you been writing long?
Yeah.
Why did you go to uni?
It was a chance to do something.
Do you find a university degree is that important?
I guess so. What are you looking for?
What's your history? Look, let me play reporter for once. Aborigines are the most researched people on earth, and I'm sick of it.
My father is Jewish. He's from Hungary. And I was born in Australia.
That Jew thing, that's a heavy scene. Is your family still alive?
They live in Melbourne.
Well, what do you know? Never saw a Jew real close up before. Yeah, you look like a Jew.
Don't be silly.
Well, maybe you should write a story about Jews.
What do you mean?
Land rights and the Palestinians.
Okay, Billy. What's your point?
No point. Just conversation.
I don't really have any calls.
So you're with this cause thing, eh? You're a good-looking bird, though. You got a boyfriend?
You could say that.
I wonder what he would say if he knew I was in your hotel room. I mean, you, fraternizing with an Aborigine.
No shit, Billy.
It's the nature of absurdism. The plane's going, right? And the whole fucking plane should start, yes? And everything becomes mad. Put yourself in a mad place. It's an absurd scene. Okay, let's go.
Touch me, sister! Touch me!
You know what I mean? Oh, all that mad stuff. I mean, fucking mad. You know? All that wank money in the bank. You know?
Touch me, sister! Touch me!
Oh, don't. That's what I was laughing at.
20 years ago, we were not supposed to be able to write. You know, people just didn't believe. When I'm talking about people, I'm talking about the white Australian public. Didn't believe that Aboriginal people were capable of writing. You know, they didn't even stop to think, because we were, I think because the white Australian public has been brought up with the concepts that Aboriginal people were children. We were treated as children right through the mission days, and the dying pillow concepts still, even today, is still in the minds of lots of white Australians. They're only just suddenly starting to realise that we are a very vital part of the Australian scene. And when we look at this conference and we see the writers, the poets, the playwrights, the very first ones, it shows you how quickly we've came forward. Because once the opportunity was given to us, we grasped it and we used it.
Well, I started through Jack Davis back in '79. One play called Kalak, and then Dreamers in '82. Having people like Jack around is very important. Kevin and Kath. Because the stories, the visions that they have and would like to portray is a lot more stronger and a lot more beautiful than the way we in a younger generation will try to portray. They have a visage, we see what they want and hopefully fulfill it.
I know it's a tough schedule. I know it's a tough schedule, but I'm not used to anything other than tough schedules. In this embryonic stage, and with black theatre in its embryonic stage, we have to take it at its own pace. I can't impose my European conditioning on it. But the general consensus of opinion is that the schedule is very, very heavy. Right?
Let's not rush it. This is a storytelling process. This is a message. It's not an exercise to see how fit we stand up in it or what we can do. This is very important.
Yeah.
And to workshop these things, they should not be rushed. They should not be processed through like everything else in this fast society. It's got to be taken and taken easy because it's important.
I come from a strong family, tribal family. And they're burying him. And I'm fucking here. Because they said to me, this is my line of work. How in the hell my people are going to be proud of me if I'm at home? I'm the oldest in the family. I should be home. I'm getting drained from what's happening in that ceremony because I should be there. The only way I know how to do it is distract my mind and keep working. Admittedly, I'll fall over. That's why the last couple of days I've been pretty quiet. I've been a lot of things eating at me. I'd like to work, and all I know is the theatre. It's all I got on the East Coast. I have no family over here. What do? Say stuff the contract and go home because you have to go home? You try and explain things to your family, they understand. You don't have to explain to them. I've been working my guts off because I owe my family. I owe them a lot. My own teacher is being buried. Teacher that taught me all my traditions.
Of wonder and beauty, you have changed before our eyes. We who live off you do not understand what possessed you to hold the right. The rape of this our land, the land our mother, to you we implore the return of our people, our children once more. For the death of their culture through civilized passing is the end of a dreaming, our language, our love. Corner of people, the children of the earth, gone from their rituals and place of their birth, gone to the cities where the minds get confused, their language, their culture, their dreaming of you.
The time is right for a national black theatre.
Really? You think so?
Definitely.
There you are, Charlie.
We've got to get it on.
Well, you know what you told me the other day about that building for a national theatre? Ryan and I was talking, he said they need a building, a national centre.
Well, they've got to be remembered.
With that, you know?
Harold Blair.
Our own, you know?
Harold
and
Blair.
the Harold Blair Award for Lifetime Achievement in the Performing Arts.
Well, poor old Harold, you know, he battled on, didn't he?
My word.
You know what
yes.
he said to me once? He came up to me and he said, I'm Harold Blair, and I said, oh yeah? I said, hey, you sing a bit, don't you? He said, yeah, I sing a bit.
Like the Metropolitan in New York, he sings a bit, eh?
The whole city's opening up now.
It is, yes. Very
And I'm
exciting
amazed
time.
at how many plays there are.
Have you ever written a play yourself?
They've already done it.
Yes.
You've done one?
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote it, well, it was after the...
But how did you know how to put it down and, you know, all that sort of thing, yeah?
It just came. I don't know how. See, I had no training. I just read other plays. And then, yeah, that's how you
What do we say? A-U-S-T-R-A-L-I-A. One more. A-U-S-T-R-A-L-I-A. One more.
I know you all came to hear Kath sing. Well, she's not going to disappoint you.
That's right.
What you going to sing? What that song?
My son used to leave home when I sang in the bar. I can't sing.
You saving all them years up with your voice. Why don't you recite something and we'll just play some music?
When Jack Davis and I were in the civil rights movement, we got very tired. Always longed for a place where we could lay our weary head, because educating white fellas was very, very hard, and you're discovering that yourselves, aren't you? Yep. It's hard to educate. And Jack used to belt out to the Western Australian bush and get lost amongst the wildlife. And I would belt down to Stradbroke Island and get lost there. And he said it was on one of these trips when he was sitting on a log, that he thought, I wonder what would happen if our Earth Mother, our rainbow serpent, came back to this world and saw what had happened to it since the invasion. And he said all of a sudden the sound of my rainbow serpent came, and he wrote it down as a voice gave it to him. It's called The Firstborn. Where are my firstborn? Said the brown land, sighing. They came out of my womb long, long ago. They were formed of my dust. Why? Why are they crying and the light of their being barely aglow? I strain my ears for the sound of their laughter. Where are the laws and the legends I gave? Tell me what happened, you whom I bore after. Now only their spirits dwell in the caves. You are silent. You cringe from replying. A question is there like a blow on the face. The answer is there when I look at the dying, at the death and neglect of my dark, proud race. I envy Jack writing that. I sure wish it were mine.
On this side of the stage tonight will be the 1940s, and on this side today is today's situation, and in here is a piece of land that has never changed in both times. Thank you very much.
Who wants a drink?
You got some?
Yeah, just only one bottle. Look, I'll see you fellas later, okay?
Aye. Just say I'll meet you up Lover's Lane later, eh?
I wouldn't be seen anywhere with you.
Yeah, but just say, eh?
You
Just say.
Yes, yes.
See you.
Oh, gee, that woman, she proper mad about me, eh?
Has he been drinking?
Not with me. You know, I've been to work, then after work we go rehearsing, then we come straight home.
And sister, you know, I wouldn't let him drink.
You all right, Jim? Are you okay?
Oh, my sister-in-law, I love you. As God is my witness, I love you. I love my brother Trev. I love my little sister Tara. But mostly, I love my kudda, Nami.
You've been drinking.
No. Just sipping. Me and Nami just been sipping, eh?
Nummy, you bloody liar! How many times I told you he's got a metal plate in his head? What happens if he has one drunken fool that could kill him? He's a sick man.
Hey, tough as a leather boot. And smarter fella than these people think he is.
I think some of the best theatre in the world is based on fact. Things that happen, regardless of how your imagination and your mind goes, you can never come up with the atrocities of reality, or the traumas of things that take place, or the comedies, or the things that actually occur in reality. And that's why I think a lot of people like to go to some of the science fiction or the Spielberg thing. They'd like to say, well, it's not happening here. I'll see that and be entertained. So the moment they walk into a theatre, they know it's not believable. And they want that sort of escape. But the majority of people would like to sit down and say, is this really happening? And if they accept that it's really happening, what can I do about it? And I think that's when theatre's become very successful.
I want to be like you. You teach me all them jokes, you know, and all those Noongar songs, and their dances, and the stories. Tell me about when you was in the war again, and how you used to play football.
That's all bullshit. Only songs I know are dirty ones. When shots fired at me, I shit myself. I was reserve on the football team and didn't even win a chook raffle.
See? You're always saying something funny.
Coulda, no. Sit down. Sit down. Now, you ever tried to catch your thumb? Like that? You try and catch your thumb like that, go on. But you only got 5 chances.
I can do it in 4. Give me another 3. It's impossible. Coulda, it's right here in front of my eyes. You can't grab it. There's a lot of things like that you could see, but you can't grab. Lot of people thinking I'm silly. Reckon I should have stopped in that home, doing them paintings and putting them red tops there and blue ones here. But you showed them. Coulda. You remember when we used to go swimming down the creek, Coulda? I used to hold my breath the longest, and you taught me how to hold onto a rock, Coulda? I won't leave you. I'll stay. Some things are here, but you can't grab it.
Every Aboriginal person lives their life kind of like in a Kafka nightmare in white society. I mean, this is made abundantly clear by writers like Archie Weller, who wrote Day of the Dog. I mean, his work is so clear to the experiences that we've all felt over the years. And if one works on the premise that the modern theatre and film is about ordinary man under extraordinary conditions of his soul, then in this level-down middle-class society, then Aboriginal people have extraordinary conditions of their soul in their day-to-day life in terms of trying to deal with the spirituality that they have in and the sense of giving and sharing in and then having to deal with the materialism of white Australian society, where the values are placed on the building and the money and the car, and that's not necessarily where our values are. And you know, we value the old people going out, and we value the children coming in. We have an enormous sense of responsibility to that. Whether we're tribal or urban, it's there.
Karinninanami, Karinninanami, Chuchimobironu, Kayan Manmarangum, Jagungum Nayumgum, Karinninanami, Chuchimobironu, Karinninanami, Chuchimobironu, Karinninanami, Chuchimobironu, Kayan Manmarangum, Jagungum Nayumgum, Karinninanami, Chuchimobironu, Karinninanami, Jujimobironu. Aborigine must be free to control his destiny. Aborigine must be free to control his destiny. Maybe if I was white, living might be alright. But why should I hope for that when I'm proud to be black? Aborigine must be free to control his destiny. Aborigine must be free to control his destiny. What this land means to us, it is one with our soul, and we still need our land in order to feel whole. Aborigine must be free to control her destiny. Aborigine must be free to control his destiny. Aborigine must be free to control his destiny.